with a slight twinkle in his eyes, says, "I hope you have fun in the mountains."
Oh God, what did he do to us? I thank him and take his kind words as a sort of warning.
Maybe
Oh,
there's cantankerous cave bears in these woods.
Tinkerus. I
What was
thought
the
you
other one?
didn't you say there was like monstrous mountain bears or something?
There's
Monsters
monstrous
Mountain.
mountain bears, cantankerous cave bears, boyish bullion bears,
Darnell, what's
Uh,
the status
river
of those
toads.
bears?
well, I did say the first bears seemed plausible.
Oh, the monstrous ones?
No, the cave bears.
Oh, the cantankerous ones.
No. When you guys were in the forest, you were talking about the
I was persuasive when I said that.
yeah, but what was the name of that? It was
He
um
said the monstrous mountain bears.
No, that was
that
the second time.
that was the second thing.
I don't remember
Um,
what the adjective was I said before the cantankerous or before the cave bear.
you just said it was a cave bear. That's what I have a note of it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, they are
Nah.
cantankerous. At first I thought that was just a given.
Okay.
Um, I gotta do a little bit of bookkeeping for a second.
Okay, Meg,
Oh,
talk about our next move.
yeah, mixed wagons. Well, first of all, how are you? How are you feeling? How long do you think you can go before we might need to stop for the night?
We lizard folk are a hardy folk. We can keep going for as long as 3 more minutes. No,
Oh,
JK, that was some classic lizard jokes.
that was actually pretty good. I was a little worried for a minute. Okay, so realistically, how long? I mean, I feel like we could probably go another hour or so past sundown. I mean, my legs are starting to hurt. Just get tired.
When
True.
my legs get tired, I also use my tail as a third leg to propel me forward. Do you have a tail?
I don't.
That's
No.
unfortunate.
Some would say, yeah, yeah.
How do
Um,
you attract a mate if you don't have a tail?
I don't attract a mate.
I see you adding the certain something to the certain
Well, you're
something.
not supposed to see it.
Would you like me to exit out of this?
It's your choice.
Cheater! You're a cheater.
McSwaggins didn't see it.
McSwaggins isn't sure what he saw because the person voicing McSwaggins isn't quite sure what that is.
Okay. So yeah, no, I just don't attract mates.
Well,
to
that sounds
just to
incredibly lonely.
clarify,
I
you
don't
did say you were 90 years old.
like 96, yeah.
Oh, now it's
Oh,
changing. Oh, she was
you're the
just
reverse
she
of
was
nice.
bashful about her age before.
You're Ethan.
I wasn't bashful. It was just like it felt like it needed to be brought up,
Oh,
and
I see.
it just seemed like a weird fact that I needed to explain. But I mean, I'm pretty young. Like, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah. So you are walking towards the mountains. As you approach, you can feel a brisk chill in the air as the sun has begun to set. But with the sun setting, Megan, make a noise.
Huh? What?
Good.
Sorry, you said it so quickly. I was like, what happened? And then I realized
With the
what
sun
happened.
setting, you can see that the mountains are starting to twinkle in the darkness. It appears that these crystals that you're after have a sort of phosphorescent glow. Not only that, but the small bottle of water that Valora um, acquired is also appears to have a slight glow to it. Um,
Ooh, bioluminescence, bitch.
so yeah, you're entering the mountains, and you can see that the blue twinkles are a little ways up the mountains. It seems like there's a ridge closest to you on the closest mountain that seems to have some of the crystals available.
How far can I like use perception? Hang on, or use like deduction and try to figure out how far they are.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like time, like would we be able to do it tonight? I figure we could continue going for a couple hours. Is that plausible
Um,
to at least reach that first little batch?
you make a pretty good assessment of the distance. It seems like it's not too far of a climb up the mountain, although it does seem a little bit steep as it is a mountain. But it seems like it would be achievable in the night.
In what?
It seems like it would be achievable in the night.
Oh, in the night. Okay, I heard in like, and I was like, in like what?
There's definitely some. It's not like it's like pitch black out because there's some visibility from the glowing crystals.
Gotcha. I suggest to Miss Waggins that we head to that closer ridge and see about collecting those first few before we. Uh, I don't want to use that word. Before we turn in for the night.
I shrug my tail and say, okay.
Can you give a better description of how shrugging a tail looks like?
So the tail raises up to near shoulder length, and then the remaining length goes out at a 90-degree angle to the right, and then I just raise my tail a little bit and back down.
Like he's taking a shit.
What?
No. When
I
I'm
think
taking
it's
a
more
shit-
like it's like that like emoji that's like
No, I get it.
like,
I was
"Eh."
just
when
a lot of
my
animals
species
that have
take-
tails,
when
lift
my
them.
species takes a shit, the tail goes underneath my legs like a slide, so the poop goes forward and away
Oh.
from my backside.
Oh,
We then scrape off against a tree, and if there's not a tree, we wait until we find a tree.
oh no!
Why do you think he was looking for a whacking stick?
Oh my god. That's disgusting. Remind me. Laura's just gonna make a note to herself to just not be anywhere near his tail. Not.
It's okay. If it causes bleeding damage, it also causes poison damage.
What?
What?
You know how in World War II, they were like, oh, let's put poop on sticks, so when people fall into the holes, they not only
Oh.
are bleeding and get damaged, they also get poison damage. Therefore, because there is fecal matter on my tail, because there's scales, and no matter how much you scrape against a tree, there will still be fecal matter.
God,
Once
that's
that gets into your
disgusting.
bloodstream, especially when it's somebody else's, that's
Who are
a
you gonna
bad
be
time.
stabbing with your tail?
I'm not. I'm going to be whacking. But if you've ever been whacked hard enough by something, sometimes you bleed.
No, I haven't been whacked that
You've
hard.
never been whacked hard before.
All right, I've lost perspective on how we got to this point in the conversation.
Well,
but
I was
are
talking
you
about
two trying to like climb the mountain or something, or what's going
Yeah,
on?
well, I suggested to McSwaggins that I would like to continue forward until, to the ridge, the closer crystals, before nightfall, before we, like, actually try to rest up for the night. And he said, okay, so I guess we're continuing forward, but I felt like maybe we would, I don't know, need to roll or something. Like, I needed to try to persuade him, but he seemed pretty willing, so.
I did indeed. Tail shrug.
Yeah.
McSwaggins, you start to you start scaling the mountain at a decent pace, using your claws to dig into the mountainside and using your tail to give some extra support when you need to be pushed up to an extra level. Valora, you start to scale the mountain as well, at a slightly slower pace, taking a few slips as you step on a few ledges, but you're able to catch yourself as you're going, and so you're approaching the ridge at the top.
Okay. Cool. I mean, we keep going, I guess.
McSwaggins, you get a little cocky and you try to push yourself up with your tail completely, and it doesn't go so well. So you kind of like swing down and you hang from your tail for a second, and in the process, Valora seems to be just about to catch up, but gets a little bit knocked to the side with you swinging down. Um,
Wow.
Did
Thanks,
she touch
dude.
my tail?
Yeah,
no,
I'm
no, no,
trying.
no. The tail is like above you now. You're like hanging from it.
Oh, sweet.
So I'm trying to dodge him.
I start doing sit-ups while my tail is while I'm upside down.
Did I already get hit by him, or can I try to dodge?
You McSwaggins successfully does sit-ups. Uh,
I just do a tail dab.
you are you
When that
take
makes him let go, or you pull yourself up into the tail down.
I do the tail dab.
Okay, but you're hanging on by your tail, so
Obviously, you've never seen a tail dab.
no, I haven't. Can you
you
please?
you do a kind of strange flexing motion with your tail, but it doesn't look discernible from anything other than like just kind of tensing the muscles up. But Valora was knocked to the side slightly with the swing down, but it seems to have only hurt her opinion of you and not the actual health.
I had an opinion of him.
Good point.
I
Reaching
mean, he's
the
okay. I could have worse, but
continuing up the mountainside, you get closer to the ridge, and you are able to see up on the ridge. There is a little bit of an opening, but on the side of the mountain there seems to be some small blue flowers that are glowing in the dark, as well as some larger crystal outcroppings um, that are just sort of scattered throughout the mountainside.
the flowers are closer, right?
They're all kind of just like dispersed randomly on the mountainside.
I mean, because I'm here for the crystals, but so I go for
Well,
that
the
first.
okay, let me explain. These blue flowers are crystal flowers. There doesn't seem to be any
Oh,
other vegetation on the mountainside, as it seems like the climate or whatever
okay.
doesn't
I
support
was
that.
picturing like blue kind of crystally flowers and then just straight crystals as well.
These are like massive crystal outcroppings, like just big hunks.
Gotcha. Okay, well then yeah, I go for the flowers first because that'll be more useful. But I do still want to try for the other stuff. But yeah, success at collecting flower crystals.
You walk up to the mountainside on the ridge and start to collect some of the crystal flowers. But as you pick them, you start to feel as if there's a slight rumbling in the mountainside and the ground. Um, you can look around and you see that some of the larger crystal outcroppings are vibrating in a sense.
Hmm. Doesn't seem good.